What's up, coaches? How are y'all doing this evening? Welcome back. This is day 7. I don't even know of the Build Your Program Summit. Tonight we're talking about tied in friendly RPOs. Coach Flores is doing a presentation on that. If you have a tight end, if you like 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 13 personnel, whatever personnel you like, this is the clinic presentation for you because you can get the ball to your tight end and not really have to have him block anybody. A lot of us have tight ends that can't block really well, but they can catch. So we want to change things up. This is a way you can do that. If you need anything, any questions or anything, put them in the comments below and we will answer them. Now let's just dive into it, man. Let's get into this freaking awesome presentation.
The tight ends coach and running backs coach at Georgetown High School in Georgetown, Texas. We refer to our tight ends as jacked up and our running backs as beast mode. So that's why you'll see that there on the screen. I'm here to talk today a little bit about our tight end friendly RPOs and how we make our offense a little bit more tight end friendly. Just talking about our tight ends, they matter in our offense. We're not a straight 10 personnel team. We're always looking for that guy that's 6'3", 215. If we can get a guy that's 6'5" and can run and has some good weight behind him, we want to find some ways for those unique athletes to get the ball, and some easy ways to get them the ball and get them going in our offense. So we've got a few RPOs that we're going to talk about, our slips and our pops, that are just easy ways to get our guys involved. And then our RPO schemes can be run off our core run schemes. We're primarily a zone team. We'll run our tight zone, and we'll run some push zone, and we love running some wide zone. We'd love to get better at it, and you'll see us try and get better at it in this next year. And then we'll even run some pin and pull, and it just depends on whether the defense that we're playing and the linebackers that we're trying to isolate in our RPO game, whether they're great pursuit players or whether they're great plug players, and we'll find matchups that we can put ourselves in good positions to win. So we'll even talk about how we dress those RPOs up, especially the pops, our smoke and mirrors. How we get into unbalanced and tackle over sets and the various motions and shifts and personnel in which we can run that pop scheme, which is probably one of my favorite plays in our offense. So without further ado, we'll get to some of the scheme stuff and football related stuff in film. So the first RPO that we're going to talk about is our slip off our inside zone. First thing we're going to do is we're going to have to lock the backside tackle on the end to allow us to read the inside backer. The offensive line and running back are running our inside zone or tight zone track, chasing the butt crack of the center, and our quarterback is going to be reading the backside inside linebacker or read side inside linebacker. This is the guy that's now in conflict. He's either got to fit his A gap or he's got to look to track and slow play, just depending on what his defensive keys are. So we're just going to try and make him wrong. You'll see some film here against our defense in the spring and play a 3-3 stack. And as I show you there, they're trying to slow play it, but our tight end is out leveraging him right now off the snap. So we're going to go ahead and pick it up and throw it. Another way that we've done this is also starting our tight end opposite. He'll come from the front side of the run all the way to the backside. And again, we can put him in multiple positions and still get him out on our slip side and be able to do some really good things and not be able to set where the tight end's always going to be on the read side. He can come from across. So this is against our defense in the spring. As you'll see, the outside receiver is going to block most dangerous. Inside receiver, because our defense plays some 3 safety stuff, is going to choose the most dangerous of those 2 safeties to his side. And then we're going to read the backside inside linebacker of this tight zone scheme. We're going to lock the backside with the tackle. And so our offensive line has got these 5 blocked, and this is our conflict defender. Okay. So as you see there, our tight ends outflank the outside linebacker. This is also something, when you're playing your defense in the spring and you get some time or you're doing game planning, you see that there are certain ways that maybe, yeah, he's slow playing that and maybe we can hand it off and get some yards, but you also see that, we can get the ball to a really good athlete in space and put that linebacker in conflict. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll get the ball out. Great job by our inside receiver getting a piece of that safety, and we pick up an easy first down to start. Maybe seeing it from the end zone, you'll see here he's in conflict. Yeah, we probably could hand it off and back cut and make some good yardage. I'm sure we probably did later on in that scrimmage, but we've got our tight end in space. He's outflanked. He's outflanked that outside linebacker, and we're going to get, we're going to block one of those safeties and make that other safety from depth make a play on a big, 6'5", 205-pound dude that's running in space. Here we are again, same concept, keeping it real simple. We can do this out of, 11 personnel. We can do it out of 12 personnel. We've even done it with running backs before, our fullback, and get him out in space. So now we're going to run it off our wide zone. We're going to lock that backside. You'll see that backside inside linebacker is kind of slow playing and shuffling over to the run concept. Also have a little bit of a snap issue. But if I'm the quarterback and I see that outside linebacker shuffling over to the run concept, why not? Flip it out there. We don't get the best block by the inside receiver, so we got to cut up and get what we can. And, what could have been maybe a 12, 15-yard gain, is only about 6 or 7. But still, it's great yardage, and it's a really efficient play for us. Just coming back to the teaching points, if I'm the tight end, what we're going to teach our guy is to go ahead and catch that ball, and we want to run the 200. So we'd rather be running here and run the 200 and outrun this guy, or make him make a play in space where we can break an arm tackle and just continue to run. So not the best decision by this tight end, but again, another efficient play. You'll see here from the end zone, we're going to lock it. We don't block the run concept up here on the Mike linebacker with our wide zone great, but you'll see the snap issue makes that read a little bit easier for the quarterback. I'm just going to flip it out there, and let's go ahead and get some space just based off his pre-snap leverage. Okay, here we're going to motion to it. Just flip the back over, get him to that side, just get him out easier. We got a great block by our inside receiver, a nice easy pitch and catch, and another first down, another positive play. Now, you'll see here, this guy was not a fleet-of-foot athlete. He was 5'11", probably about 215, big bulldozer. But again, an easy way to get him in space, break an arm tackle, get another 4 or 5 yards, and set ourselves up with a first and goal. See here, we're locking the backside. Quarterback likes that picture. Doesn't really like that the inside linebacker, number 49 here, is just popping his feet, ready to fit the run. So we're going to go ahead and we've got him out leveraged. Here we go again. So we're going to run inside zone. We'll go ahead and we'll take that one. We'll box up to that inside linebacker. This right guard will fit. He'll go ahead and base up on the tackle, and he'll base up on the end. That's the free hat who's going to be in conflict. You see here, now we've got the inside linebacker. He's now running with the tight end. All right. Go ahead and give the ball to the running back. Normally, we'd be giving the ball to the running back. Running back isn't exactly clued into what we're doing here. We have a mesh issue. So quarterback being a smart guy, and, this is not all just clinic tape where it's beautiful. Sometimes it's going to happen in your RPO game. You don't have a great mesh, but this quarterback was a really smart player and understood, okay, I didn't feel a great mesh. I'm going to pull it, and I'm just going to follow the offensive line and run inside zone myself. You'll see that clear read of the outside linebacker running with the tight end. So we don't really like that numbers issue, and we've now put him in conflict. He can't fit his run gap. Let's just fit it up in there. We'll take another 5-6 yards. Okay, so now we're doing it out of unbalanced. Okay, we've taken the outside receiver over here. We put him over here. We pair that up with a little bit of tempo, and then you can see the defense is still trying to get lined up over here. Boom. Flip it out there to our guy. Trying to get a great block over there and still working. So we run one over, get another one, another first down. Nice, easy play. Okay, so now let's get to the good stuff. We love our pop package off of our wide zone the best. One of our favorite ways to do it is out of tackle over. So as you can see up on the screen, we've got 2 receivers off the line of scrimmage over here. They're going to run a bubble. Okay, plain and simple. You'll see that here, and I'll give you some of the rules. It's more of a pre-snap. If we feel like the defense is crawling down in here, we'll take it. Okay. Sometimes we'll get split safety looks just because they don't see that this is not a tight end and that's a tackle. Sometimes we'll see that safety over the top of the 3 receiver side, declaring this is a 3 receiver side. So all that does is it just takes away your secondary run force to fit off the wide zone. So we've taken our left tackle and we've put him over here. So now we've got our guard, center, guard, tackle, tackle. And they're going to work wide zone up front and work their combos on the front side. They're going to lock the backside. Okay. And then our tight end, he's going to pop. Okay. He's going to shock and pop. And we're going to go ahead and put this backside inside linebacker in conflict. So just looking at the rules, again, O-line, running back, no different. Okay. Running back, put yourself in gun and run wide zone. We will run some from the pistol, but pretty hard to run our pop game from out of the pistol. Okay. Use your wide zone rules, lock the backside with our guard, and now our tight end, who's got the shock the C gap, and then release vertical to run the route on the safety if this safety were to be over the top of him. So now we're going to try and stem that up. Okay, we'll shock the C for 3, and then release vertical and running that route off of safety if he were down low, playing flex on this guy. Boom, stem it back inside and win. But we don't want to ever try and cross the ball because now that Mike can slow play and be able to play both. So typically, if we were to install this with some of our younger guys where we may not get a lot of safety over the top, maybe some of our JV or our freshmen, we'll go ahead and shock the C for 3, kind of time that up, and then kind of replace this inside linebacker where he used to be. So if he wants to go ahead and run and try and fit fast flow with the fast flow play, now we can go ahead and throw it right behind his ear hole where he used to be. Again, quarterback pre-snap, we can go ahead and eye the bubble. We'll motion to it and do some of that. So if we like the numbers out here, we can take the bubble just because if we like the numbers out here, it's because these guys are now fit in the box and stacking it. You'll see one later in the presentation where we should have thrown the bubble because they had, 9 dudes in the box. And once we motioned to this, no one ran with them and we would have been in a 2-on-1 situation. And then post-snap, we're going to shuffle play side. We're going to read the backside inside linebacker, and we're going to throw that thing right into the pop. Just fit it into that tight window sometimes. Sometimes we're throwing it on the laser. Sometimes we're just nice and easy pitch and catch. So here's the first set of film. We're in tackle over. They don't see it. Here's your 2 safety look because we got a safety over here thinking that's a tight end, I guess. We're going to run the bubble over here pre-snap. If that's our blitz control as well, if they want to go ahead and shovel down in here and this safety were to go ahead and crawl down in here into the box, we'll take it. Okay. As you can see, we're going to be isolating this backside inside linebacker. There's the C-gap defender. Okay, sometimes we'll take this guard and go out on a 5 technique just to make sure we're safe. Normally he would combo nose to inside backer. So now we can go ahead and lock him on wherever that defensive end is. In a 3-man front, could be a 4-eye, 4, could be a 5. Now, little coaching point here that we talk about to our tight ends and our quarterbacks when we're running this. Okay. Sometimes we're going to get uncapped space. As you see, this vertical tube is uncapped. That means we can kind of speed up our process. Maybe not shocking the C gap as long, and we're definitely not going to snap this back underneath. We can go ahead and carry this vertical into that uncapped tube. Get the snap, shuffle by the quarterback, make sure the tight end stays on his feet, stay vertical into that uncapped space, and go rattle off a big gain. I'll tell you, our normal tight end, our starting tight end was hurt to start the season. So to see this guy used to be a backup guard on the JV, an undersized guard, had some decent athleticism, wasn't afraid to block. But, he did a great job of fitting up in our run game that, let's throw him a bone and get him an easy, explosive play. Okay, here we go off a tempo again. Defense is struggling to get lined up, and this is a defense that ended up winning the state championship in 2017. So it's no slouch, but you pair some of this stuff up with tempo, and it can be deadly. So we tempo to this play. You can see guys are still getting lined up, but we're going to pop the C gap. Not really a C gap defender there. So then we can go ahead and get out, find this soft spot in the defense. Boom, fit it in there. Now, if you see right here, if I'm that tight end, we probably want to coach him, hey, you do have that player over the top of you. Kind of slow it down a little bit, maybe not so fast to get vertical. Slow that down, have a feel for it so you're not running into an ankle breaker tackle. But again, getting our guy a chance to make a play in space. You'll see here we're doing this all off a tempo. They're still trying to point him out. Safeties haven't figured out post snap, and they're lucky to get that tackle, or else my man's gone. Okay, so there's our conflict player, the backside inside linebacker. We're going to go ahead and shock the C for 3. He does have a safety over the top of him, so we're going to kind of run that route, try and stem him up if we need to, and try and win where we can find some space. But also, if we get this kind of look on the run fit, there's no secondary support. Okay, there's no run support coming from the secondary over here. So this tackle, we get this blocked. Those two, frontside guard and frontside, the inside tackle, are working defensive lineman up to frontside linebacker. Okay, we can go ahead and win on this center on the nose, winning play side and trying to lock on. And if we need to, we'll lock him back on the backside. And if we can win on that, we're a hat for a hat. You see there, we don't quite get the best block on that 4 technique, working up to the play side linebacker, but gives us a chance to get started. Running back makes a great play. Again, not all of these are throwing the pop, which I know can get boring, but the more times we can put these guys in conflict, you'll see this inside linebacker. He's running way over the top, thinking that safety's got the pop, so he over pursues, and now we've got a positive play. All right. So looking at a 4-3 box and what we got here. So run-wise, we're still good. Okay, we'll take these two for the defensive end and the front side linebacker, the strong side linebacker. Center and guard will be working this interior defensive lineman to the Mike linebacker. Our guard is going to lock right here on the interior defensive lineman on the backside, whether he's a nose, whether he's a 3 technique, doesn't matter. And then our tight end, okay, who's right here, is going to shock the C-gap defender, which is this 5 technique for 3, and then release where this guy used to be and try and make a play. Okay. Obviously, you can see we've got a secondary adjust team here. So they've got corner, safety, and another safety over the top of them. So again, we can fit this out and block this okay. We've got no secondary run support. We're a hat for a hat. Always a good situation to run the ball into. So you see there, if we could get a front side linebacker blocked on combination, we'd be really good. Right there, they're taking this backside linebacker and spying the tight end, and they're taking the safety. So we've taken 2.5 by shocking him with the run concept. We'll take it any day. Take another 4 or 5 yards. You'll see there, pre-snap. So we've taken defensive end, outside linebacker on the backside, pursuit, and safety, secondary run support out of the picture. Now, if we could only block the front side of the run concept better. All right, we're back to an odd front. So we'll usually, because we think this backside interior defensive lineman can make a play, we'll take the guard and lock him. We feel good about our center locking up on this nose most of the time. There'll be times where we'll have to figure that out and maybe change the run concept a little bit. I know a lot of you guys don't feel good about that run concept. Well, you can always pair it with your push zone against a 3-4. Run it with push zone out of a normal 20 personnel or 11 personnel Y-off situation, and that still puts that interior inside linebacker in conflict. So here we're going to go ahead and put this inside backside linebacker in conflict. They've brought the safety over here now that they've got burned on it once. No secondary run support. Usually a good situation for us. We can block the front side pretty good. Again, that's another 4 yards. We'll take it all day. I guarantee eventually, sometime this year, we'll block a frontside linebacker on wide zone. On a good track, he just unsure of himself, first game of the year. All right, every once in a while you get to a situation where you game plan your red zone stuff. This could be good in the red zone when you know that safeties and linebackers are going to not pay attention to tight ends and why when he's off the ball in a sniffer set. When you've been running so much power or split zone, and you find that you got safeties and linebackers, they're going to lose him off a flash fake. So technically this is an RPO and we're running it that way, but we knew getting down into the tight red zone that, those safeties would be spying the back and trying to fit in on the run, come in those goal line situations. And you'll see here our backside tight end, which is right there. He's just going to release into space, anticipating this safety coming down into the run fit and trying to get a piece of the run and help out. So now we're in a normal. We've got the Bills there, okay, and then we're going to block. This is our tight end who's going to be running the pop. So he's going to go ahead and just kind of release up and get vertical, anticipating this safety back in the run fit. You'll see there, nice easy release, no collision, safety in the run fit. Trying to get involved. Nice, easy touchdown for a guy. All-around great kid. Not the best athlete on the field, but he's definitely a kid that worked hard, did all the dirty work blocking, and was a good enough athlete that we felt good about trying to get him the ball in some key situations. All right, so this one's out of a tight tray formation. So you've got tight end, 2 receivers. Okay, we're in normal center, guard, tackle, center, guard, tackle. Here's our tight end. Okay, so we've got the safety on the front side of the run fit. Okay, we're going to be running wide zone in this direction. to the bottom of the screen. We're going to lock the backside with our guard and our tackle, and we're going to go ahead and release. So now it'd be more of a D gap, looking for any fit off his shoulder, trying to time that up for 3, and then releasing vertical and running a route off of nothing. So he's just going to run into this uncapped space. Still reading backside inside linebacker because he looks like he's going to blitz. Quarterback sees he's got some uncapped space to fit the ball in there. He's going to go ahead and pull it. And sometimes catching the ball ain't that easy for our tight ends. These are the times that you like to play it on Saturday mornings at film. Say, hey, dude, you could have had another 15, 20 yards of receiving yards. Just do yourself a favor and catch the ball. Again, in a tight tray formation. So you'll see here, we've got 2 receivers. They've got the bubble concept. Okay, we've got center, guard, tackle, then tight end. Okay, so we'll release outside. Now it's more of a D gap. Okay, shock the D for 3. We'll put the inside linebacker in conflict. See some uncapped space here, so we may need to speed up, help our quarterback out. Okay, right before the snap, you'll see the nickel, who was closer to 2 receiver side, to give him a 3-on-2. Now tightens up to the box. Quarterback saw that, might have been worried about collision, and just overplan the shock and pop route. So we'll go ahead and hand it off. Easy 4 yards. All right, so now we're going to dress it up with some motion. Like I told you, we're gonna try and disguise one of our favorite plays with motion, shifts, and personnel. So here's the first one with motion. Okay, this is the first scrimmage of the year in the fall, and you'll see here we're going to go ahead and this was a tempo play for us. We'd get into it, motion. He's going to come motion across, pre-snap. We could give a jet fake, a jet sweep fake, or if we see like there's some sort of blitz over here, quarterback can let it get all the way across and then alert to throw it. So we'll get jet motion, and we've got people moving. Can we get one of these safeties to go ahead and uncap that space with the motion? And this is out of our tackle over. So we got tackle, guard, center guard, and our tight end. Shock the C for 3, release vertical, replace him, or run the route off to safety if needed. Boom. We get the linebacker out of the box with the motion. Safety certainly doesn't fit it. Boom. Shock. We're going to just kind of settle down and fit in space. Take that uncapped space for ourselves. Big man, just stay vertical and get another 5 yards. In even fronts, it's really important that you get that little shock because you don't have a player to secure that defensive end for the quarterback. So in your even fronts, it's really important that you get that shock that gives you enough time and space to be able to shock and time it up, and boom, fit it in there. And then sometimes you want to dress it up with motion. We're going to motion 2 unbalanced. So he's off the ball and going to come in jet motion. Sometimes you just see game plan stuff. In our staff, I feel like our OC, Ricky Beatty, does a great job with the rest of our staff about, finding little niches and ways to get these guys in space. This was a really good athlete who's now committed to New Mexico. We even said, look, when we motion, we're not even going to ride it. We're going to pass protect, so we make sure we get this thing thrown in this uncapped space because the safety's not going to come with them. So here's the motion. You'll see here we're going to motion to it. We could always check down to the jet motion into the bubble route or swing route, whatever you want to call it. We've got block most dangerous. But again, we were really looking for this uncapped space first. Boom. Fit the ball in that window. Take an easy 18 yards. Start the drive. All right, so we talked about tackle over and putting our tight end as the backside tackle in these run concepts. We'll also find ways to hide him and shift to it. So you'll see here, the film catches it mid shift, but we've got center, guard, tight end, and then we've got our tackle who starts outside. We'll trade him across. So now we've got tackle over here. Sometimes he'll get lost. We'll shift over, and we've got the same concept on. Tackle over, pop off of our wide zone. As you can see, uncapped space pre-snap after the movement. They don't bring anybody over to ID them. Speed it up. Get into that uncapped space. Good athlete. Nice 30-yard touchdown. See how the ride doesn't even get the ball all the way into the pocket because he knows he sees that uncapped space. He's pulling it. He's throwing it. Let's go score. All right, probably one of my favorite variations of our pop concept is doing it out of 21 personnel and motioning to it. You'll see here, we're going to start in 21 personnel. We've got two running backs in the game back here, our tight end and our tackle over set. So we're going to go ahead and take the back opposite, and we're going to fast motion him out of the backfield into a swing route. So again, the concept doesn't change over here. If he doesn't come and we've got numbers, let's throw the swing. Okay, we'll go ahead and block one, and we're in space and we're running. Okay, we want to see if we can get one of these backside fitters or outside linebacker, inside linebacker, safety to run with it, and then we can get to our read. Clears it up. Sometimes they get confused, and we end up with a big gain. Okay, so tackle, guard, center, guard, tight end, two running backs, and we're going to motion to our concept. Send the motion. Safety goes with him. Lots of uncapped space, as you can see. Only dude that would have tackled him was maybe that referee. Boom. Nice, easy way to start a possession. +50 yard explosive play and touchdown. Doesn't get any easier than that. Boom. Now quarterback knows. Speed it up. Get it out. We don't quite get the shock from the tight end that we need sometimes, but we also are speeding that process up just a hair when we see something like that happen. All right, so we got two running backs set. Tackle over. We're going to motion him into our bubble concept. We're looking for this safety. Is he going to leave the picture and leave it uncapped? I think this one we end up pairing up with our pin and pull scheme. So again, pin and pull, that doesn't change anything. We're going to pin. If there's something in my gap, I'm going to pin it. If there's not, I'm going to pull. So we'll get a pin, pull up to the play side linebacker. Backside linebacker is the one in conflict. He's either going to fast flow with the pullers in the run concept or he's going to sit. I got safety and linebacker loosening up. Probably one where we were coaching them up. Okay, next time we run this and we get that kind of look, we've got uncapped space. Let's go ahead and fit it in there. But can't blame them for that. We get a good positive run game. that tight end, big body. He was probably asking the quarterback why he didn't throw it. Again, there's our pin and pull scheme. We'll pair this with a bunch of concepts. Boom, pin, pull, pull up. You probably see this inside linebacker start to scrape over the top. Oh my gosh, throw, the pop. But he may have seen sorts of trash, and you see how we get a backside interior lineman to try and hold our tight end and try and take that away. So we're taking 1, 2, 3 players away from the run concept. All right, so as we talked about previously in our 11 personnel, where we'll trade the tackle and start him looking at as a tight end and trade him over, we're going to hide that tight end, and then we're going to pair it up with motion. And that's what makes these 21 personnel variations of the pop concept so much fun. Here we are. We just traded. Start to the beginning. You see that tackle running across. So he was over here. We said, go ahead and trade. Goes ahead and gets set. So now you see this team took a defensive end and took them over to the tackle over. So now we got linebacker, safety. We're going to motion, see if we can get some of these guys confused and get an easy explosive. He's running with it. No one else is looking. He doesn't even have to shock because he sees I've got some uncapped space in here. So if he's close to the ball, we'll go ahead and shock as much as we need. But because they took that defensive end away, he's just going to run right at him, stem it up, and get into this uncapped space. Boom. Almost a 40-yard explosive play. You see all those guys talking out the motion. Hey, you go, you go. Lost track of their responsibilities. There's our tight end pre-snap. Boom. You got 5, 6 people trying to talk this motion out. Hey, shift. Hey, we got a motion. Tight end gets lost. Easy explosive play. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and shift again. So our tackle comes over. There goes the defensive end again. You see number 10 trying to talk this out. But again, easy concept. Shock the C for 3. If that's a linebacker or safety, we can go ahead and stem him up because there's the read player. Can we win off of him and get into this uncapped space? Because there's nobody capping my space right now. Nobody capping my vertical tube. Can I get in it? Can we fit the ball in there? Here comes the motion. Again, players trying to talk it out. Boom, uncapped space. Oh my gosh, catch the ball. Same game later on in that game. Still trying to figure it out. Trying to handle the motion with a different player. Responsibilities get mixed up. Take my vertical tube. Catch the football, and we've got another explosive. You can see it from the end zone here. He had to have gotten too excited seeing all that space. Catch the football and see it in first. And he might still be running today. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and trade over. Got the same concept. Keep it nice and simple. We're going to motion to it. Shock the C for 3. Put the inside linebacker in conflict. Is there vertical space and uncapped tube that I can get to? There's a safety over the top of him. Boom. So you'll see here we actually have to throw the bubble just because as you see the motion, no one goes with it. Safety actually tightens to the tackle over. He was trying to communicate. Someone go with the motion because he wasn't. Flip it out there. Take advantage of that block. Come get an easy 7 yards. Boom. Nothing wrong with taking an easy 7 yards. All right, so now we've got one where we probably needed to throw the bubble here, and you guys and I probably see it pretty obvious. Um, Coming back to our drawing here. Okay, so we've traded over, we've got tackle over, tight end, two backs. We're going to motion. Can we get one of these guys to go with them? Try and uncap some more space for this tight end to work. He should be shocking the C gap for three, which is this defensive end, and then working into the route. Again, probably have to coach this guy up on pre-snap. No one goes with the motion. Throw the bubble. As you can see, we had a corner backing up. I mean, we just get a piece of them. We've got a really good play and an easy answer to when they want to try and stack the box on our pop concepts. And then every once in a while, this isn't our pop concept, but just something that we probably stole from somebody. The reason why we all go to clinics and we talk ball, but something that was easy, similar to a pop concept, but a very special play down on the goal line, especially when you get secondary adjust teams that want to go man up over here. Are they going to lose him? Trying to figure out who's taking the back, who's got the tight end. Again, this is something we stole from somebody, either watching it on TV or clinicking, just asking guys about stuff they do. And it's the reason why we do this and share what we do, is to try and give back, and even pay it forward for the next guy that's going to help us out. So all we're going to do is we're going to show a little QB sweep, sprint out action here. Can we get that corner who's already down tight to get sucked in and just lose the tight end and get him open in the back corner of the end zone? Doesn't get any easier for that. And if you've got guys that you wish you could recruit to play football, guys that are hoopers, and you need a tight end, and you've got that guy who's maybe 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and you really want to get him out on your team. I mean, you got to put a tight end on the field, and you got to show them that you're going to give them some love. Get those guys that are going to do all the dirty work and block on the power and the counters and your split zones, and on the backside of stretch and your wide zone plays, setting the edge and blocking down on pin and pulls and doing all the dirty work. You got to give these guys some love every once in a while, and you got chances like this to game plan and get those guys easy touchdowns and get their names in the paper. You got to do it. I hope you guys really got something out of this. Again, I'm at Georgetown High School. My email is floresj1 at georgetownisd.org. My Twitter is at GTCoachFlores. And my cell number is also down there, area code 210-854-0242. Text me if you've got any questions, if you want to see some additional stuff. We're all here to help each other out. I would not be in the position that I'm in without the support of our staff, our head coach, Chuck Griffin, OC, Ricky Beatty, and the rest of the guys on our staff supporting me, as well as all of the coaches that have supported, my growth as a coach professionally, over the last 10 plus years that, I'll be coaching. I think this can be my 11th year, and I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for all the guys that I would reach out to after clinics and coaches that I would reach out to about whether it was film or concepts. And so those guys have always been so gracious, and I want to be as well. So if you need anything, our door's open. Ask away. Go ahead and text me, call me, hit me up on Twitter, or DM me. Willing to answer any questions you may have. And I hope you got one thing that you can take back to your team this next season and help you guys be successful.
Coach Flores, thank you so much for that. I know I like that tackle over. I will probably use that as a gold line situation. Hat toss to you. Kudos. Thank you so much. Coaches, if you want to get in touch with him and he answers any questions that you have, I am dropping his Twitter in the chat. And if you want to sign up to get the replays and to donate and to get your hat thrown in for the pot, and what is the pot? It is these donations at the end of this clinic, at this summit. I am going to take the donations. Right now, we're closing in on $3,000, and I'm going to draw a name out of a hat, so to speak, and I am going to give it to either a high school program or middle school athletic program, and that is going to be their fundraiser. I know that Corona has ruined a lot of things, so that is why I am doing that right now. If you want that, here you go. The link is in the comments as well. Now, come back tomorrow. We got Coach Banks talking about inside zone RPOs, 4 different ways to run them. So I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, let's continue to master the spread, score points, and have fun.